Hello. Dr. Frank Infurter will not be at Halloween Horror Nights 25 this year. No, we don't expect to see him this time, although he has been there many times in the past few years. They decided to give him a bit of a break. But if you want to see something visual that's not too abysmal, you can always go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show itself at the AMC Cinema over at City Walk. I'm certain to be playing midnight showings during the event itself, and you can enjoy the performances not only of the original cast of the original film on screen, but also below in the cinema will be a bunch of rich weirdos doing some audience participation. What fun. But to the event itself, we won't be seeing him there. Nevertheless, I do find myself thinking about the good doctor and some of his clever ways with words. And you might have noticed that I titled this little video thinking about his turn of phrase, because indeed I myself now am shivering with Antici. Pation about the upcoming event of Halloween Horror Nights 25, which after all begins, as today is, Friday, September 11th, 2015. It begins in just 7 days! But I am not Dr. Frankenfurter. I am Dr. Jimmy, and I can't make you a man. No. I am not skilled in manufacturing. I have to get my men the old-fashioned way. Money! Ooh, that's awful. No. Well, I didn't say it was my money. Oh dear, that's even worse. Oh, no innuendos there. Let's put that out of the way. You whore. No. But yes, I am so excited about the upcoming event. Just a week away. Oh, joy. It's kind of funny, you know, back a few months ago, when that naughty Chad Burton leaked the whole damn thing on his HHN rumours, there was a lot of negative reaction in the hardcore Halloween Horror Nights fan community. A lot of people were going, OMG, they're going to do a house again after only 2 years, the same house. They're doing Walking Dead for the 4th year in a row, and nearly everything else they're talking about here is stuff that we've seen before. Oh my God, what is this? Howlo Scream? And I found myself a bit amused by that reaction, because it is indeed an anniversary here, a major landmark anniversary, 25 years after all, the silver anniversary, and a retrospective nostalgia theme for the year is a bit to be expected. And frankly, I find myself quite eager to see old friends we haven't seen before. Well, we've seen before, but we haven't seen for a long time. It's like a family reunion, you know, meeting up and catching up with old times. What fun. I'm quite giddy as I wait for it myself. But in the past few weeks and even the past few days, as new revelations have been officially revealed, I'm happy to see that the majority of people are getting excited about it and have allayed a lot of their fears, except for those few people who are going to be negative no matter what. No matter what. The Black Knights, if you will, who will just say it sucks no matter what they do. Fuck 'em, I say. And I am going to now, in this video, and probably a couple more, because goddamn I'm long-winded, and I can't seem to get everything I want to say in one little video. But nevertheless, I want to talk about why I'm looking forward to this so much with eager anticipation. Oh, it's so fun. The suspense is killing me. I hope it lasts. Yes, there's all sorts of things that I gather to be surprises, even if they have revealed so much. There's still a lot more that they haven't revealed, I'm certain. I'm just eagerly awaiting to see what they have in store. But first of all, it is an anniversary year, 25 years, and that's a theme! This is the first time we've had a theme since 2011 with Lady Luck and the whole, you know, your luck has run out bit. They really didn't have a theme the last 3 years at all. Oh, What Evil Has Taken Root was meant to be a theme, I think, but it wasn't realized. There was nothing at all. It was all just Walking Dead and shit. So now we've got a real bona fide theme. Plus we have an icon, the first icon since Lady Luck. Yes, it is Jack the Clown back again, and he has been icon before, most notably in 2000 when he first appeared, and then he filled in for Eddie in 2001 due to the terrible things that happened on this date 14 years ago. Let's take a moment of silence. Okay, and oh, I am lurking in the dark. I'm sorry about that. I think it's because it's so bright from back there. Even with this lamp on, to try to alleviate, I still seem to be lurking in the shadows like Paige Sterington or somebody. Oh well. Excuse me. But nevertheless, we have an actual icon. And yes, again, he appeared as icon in 2007 as the ringmaster of the Carnival of Carnage. And he did appear with 3 others as a joint icon in 2006, of course. And he has made other appearances over the years, here and there, at different events. 2004 in the house, and 2010 in the Scare Zone in the house there, and that was the last time we saw him in the flesh. Although we had seen the sort of standee, the standing static figure of him up in the final scene of Cabin in the Woods a couple years ago. As you exited the house, up to your left-hand side was Jack, who was a mannequin, and on the right side was the caretaker. And both of those were standees, not standees, but static figures in those glass cubicles in the containment area in the last scene. No, Mr. Ripley, I'm sorry. He was not in the elevator. That was a different clown altogether. I'm sorry, you made a mistake there. I like your book, but you have made a few mistakes. That was a big one about the event 2 years ago. Jack was not a character in that house. We did also see a little picture of Jack in the final scene of Giggles and Gore, if you turned around and looked back. And of course there was that lovely vinyl figurine, but he hasn't really been here for nearly 5 years, and now he's back. Jack is back, and I'm really happy about this, because yes, he's an icon that's been there before, but he is the original icon. Who else should be the host of the 25th year but Jack himself? And I have personal feelings, of course, as I've mentioned in previous videos. The actor most famously known for portraying Jack, the actor who has played him since 2000 in most of the major presentations, and who recently played him in that video they shot earlier this summer in Budapest, of all places. Yes, Jack will be performing him, I believe, in the Carnage Returns show this year. That actor, of course, is a friend of mine from long back. I first met him in 1991 after I first moved to Florida, and I first met him, or encountered him really, as a guest when I was attending Pleasure Island, where he was working at the Adventurers Club. And then later, of course, when I started working at Pleasure Island myself, a few months later, They sent me to the Adventurers Club. I was working the Comedy Warehouse back then. They sent me to the Adventurers Club to train there, so that I could fill in if anybody ever had to miss call in or anything like that. And he was one of the people who trained me in that club that night. So yes, so I can say that he trained me at the Adventurers Club, and I have known him all these years. I'm not close friends with him, but I have seen him many times and have encountered him recently, different places and online, and I do consider him to be a friend. And when I first saw Jack back in the year 2000 at the Fangoria convention, he called me by name, and I didn't know it was him underneath the makeup, and I was startled. How does this clown know who I am? So there's always been a certain personal connection with Jack, especially when he's played by the original guy. And I'm very happy that he's coming back for those personal reasons. And also, of course, we have been promised. Michael Aiello has stated in some of his Twitters that we will learn more about Jack's backstory. I mean, they told us quite a bit in 2000, a bit more in 2006. We learned that Jack, we learned about how he had been at the carnival in 2000, and how Dr. Oddfellow had killed him, and then how he'd come back from beyond in the Jack-in-the-Box when it was opened by the BBC. We learned, of course, in 2006 that he must have spent some time at Shady Brook as an inmate and developed a bit of a following there. Perhaps the lady who was Chance met him there, I don't know. But in 2007, Chance was with him, and we learned more about how he had taken over the carnival and got his revenge on Oddfellow. And then, of course, we learned in 2010 the whole thing that he is an avatar of chaos and was taken into the lantern and left there by fear himself, except that obviously Jack has got out of that lantern, because if you can't keep that clown confined, he can get out of a Jack-in-the-Box, he can get out of a lantern, for crazy sakes. And when he got out, he obviously left the door wide open so that anyone else who was trapped in that lantern is out too. Oh, that's delightful. Yes. So we are expecting lots of old friends again, and I'm looking forward to seeing all these familiar faces, and it just makes me so happy. And we'll learn more about Jack. Michael Aiello has promised that. We'll learn more about his backstory. We'll learn more about strange connections between him and other characters from his past that we may not have realized existed. That implies perhaps characters that we were aware of in other contexts that are somehow connected to Jack in ways we don't know yet. There may be other mysterious connections between different aspects of the mythology of Halloween Horror Nights that they have created for the past 25 years. I think this is a year of interesting connections in the way that all can tie in together into a wonderful collective story, mythology of Horror Nights in a wonderful and weird way. I'm anticipating with that so much because, well, I'm a bit of a nerd and I like that sort of thing. Even if we don't have anything that's legendarily true, a lot of horror will likely be unearthed one way or another in scenes in various houses, I believe, and I'm quite easily eager to see what they are, because I've heard these statements, but I don't know the details, and so I'm like in the dark with all of you, eagerly anticipating to see what it's going to be. Oh, what will we find out about Jack? Ooh, I'm excited. And of course Chance is back too. We've seen her in the commercial now and everything. We know she's back and we've always liked her. That's going to be fun too. And they're doing their show, The Carnage Returns, and I have heard through people in the media who've seen a preview of it, there's going to be a lot of people on that stage, not just Jack and Chance and their victims, but sexy dancers. Always like sexy dancers, both male and female, so everyone can be happy. And they're going to do those aerobatic tricks like in Cirque du Oive, or whatever it's called, you know what I mean. The sort of thing we haven't seen at Horror Night since, I think, 1999's Inferno show. if you're old like me and can remember that sort of thing. So that sounds like a breathtaking and fantastic show. But that's all I can do for this video, so we will have to go to a second video. I hope you anticipate that video.